In order to get the greatest benefits from meditation, there are two critical points that need to be addressed. First, we need to learn to actually meditate. Learning the difference between non-meditation and near meditation, not quite meditation, and actual meditation is very important. Number two, we need to establish a daily practice. These two go hand in glove together. If you establish a daily practice and it becomes very strong, it can sustain itself, it can maintain itself, and that's because you're meditating. Meditating has its own emphasis to it, its own momentum. It's a lot easier to get into the habit of meditation unless it's a chore that we need to do. If it's a chore, it's kind of hard. We don't look forward to it. Then when we're sitting on the cushion, we've got our timer and we wait for the timer to go off so we can be done and tick that off the list and feel like, oh, I did my meditation. We're just waiting for the clock to ding out, like a child at school waiting for the 3:30 bell so we can go out and play with our friends. The more we can develop the opposite attitude, the rest of life it's not a chore, not a drudge, but it's the challenge. It's the part that is somewhat difficult, and meditation is the energizing factor. Meditation is how you get energy for the rest of your life. Getting a little excited about meditation even, not allowing that to destabilize you, but that's pretty hard to do, to be quite honest. It's the rare person that gets so excited about meditation they can't meditate because they have too much excitement. That doesn't really happen very easily. So don't worry too much about that. Some people are worried that, I won't have a calm meditation because I'll get too excited. That's pretty unlikely, at least at this point. Meditation, a lot of people say, is a time to nurture yourself and take care of yourself and so forth. These are nice, but to me they actually sound a bit corny. Meditation is a time, in my opinion, to develop your confidence, your power, your strength, your insight into your own character, your understanding of who you are and how you fit into this world as a human being. And the primary tool to develop those things is concentration, focus, your ability to maintain attention on an object, on anything you choose, as a matter of fact. Meditation is an opportunity to look unflinchingly at your shortcomings, the negative emotions that we don't like, that surprise us and make us do and say things that we don't feel great about later. We call those kleshas in Buddhism, Kleshas. It's a Tibetan word meaning basically negative emotions, negative attitudes towards life. So just by looking directly, those things can come up and you can view them as an unimpassioned or a disinterested observer. So just a little sidetrack here. To say someone is disinterested doesn't mean they're not interested in something. It means they don't have anything to gain or lose by it. That's a legal definition of the term. So it doesn't mean it's boring when you say disinterested. So while you do have something to gain or lose by the outcomes of having negative emotions or not having them, generally having negative emotions puts us on the losing end. Taking an attitude of simply watching, interested but disinterested. The opposite of interested is uninterested. Because in a sense, we don't have anything to gain or lose when something arises in meditation. We're just watching the pattern play out. We're not trying to manipulate it. So in that sense, disinterested means you don't have any game. You don't want to manipulate it. You just want to understand it. Because when you understand it, you can work with it. You can work through it, and you can become a better, wiser, stronger person. Somebody that can provide benefit to the world rather than somebody that causes a little bit of chaos in the world, which is what most of us, if we're quite honest, are doing. Benefiting the world is not strictly necessary, but it can create a lot more strength and power, a lot more fuel for your meditation. I very strongly advise, however, to be a person who doesn't cause any harm in the world. That, if that's a focus of your meditation, that will keep your meditation on a truer course. It will keep your meditation towards a genuine and good outcome. Now, obviously that means intentionally. Just by existing, sometimes we're going to harm people by hurting their feelings or cutting off in traffic, little things like that. That's just part of life. It's inevitable. You're going to kill bugs when you drive or something. There's all sorts of situations like that, but it's the attitude of not wanting to cause harm. And if you see a way to do something without causing any harm, you choose that way unless it's impossible or ridiculously difficult. The aspiration to not cause any harm becomes a part of your being. And then when you have a clear choice to cause or not cause harm, to choose not to, you care. So that's the thing. That's a genuine motivation. But to take this back to the beginning, establishing a daily practice and understanding what motivation is and developing a genuine meditation, that's the key to all the rest of it. And with that, all the benefits of meditation are possible. Without that, none of them are.